أتعلم، أنا أتعلم. إحنا في المدرسة طلاب، نتعلم ويا الأصحاب، نفتح للمستقبل باب، نحيي في الوطن التجديد. إحنا في المدرسة طلاب، نتعلم ويا الأصحاب، نفتح للمستقبل باب، نحيي في الوطن التجديد. أتعلم، أنا أتعلم، حتى أفيد وأستفيد، وأعرف لما أتكلم إنه كلامي صح ومفيد. ليلى لا ليلى لا ليلى لا ليلى لا ليلى لا ليلى لا.
السلام عليكم. This is أشرف حبيب from الياسمين section in Khaldun Schools English Word Class 4 Grade 4 Revision on Unit 7. Our objectives for today: first, revise reading and answering oral questions. Read and act the dialogue. Revise and practice the key structure. I'd like you now to open your pupils book on page 74 and 75. What's the title? People of the World. Old Customs in the Modern World. Before listening, I'd like you now to put in your mind these questions. Search for the answers for these questions. Question number 1. When people live far away from a city, how do they get food? When people live far away from a city, how do they get food? This is the first question. Second question, how do they get clothes and houses? How do they get clothes and houses? Question number 3, what were the Incas like 500 years ago? What were the Incas like 500 years ago? Next question, where did the explorers come from? Where did the explorers come from? And where do the Quechua people get wool from? Where do the Quechua people get wool from? This is the first part on page 74. Listen and find the answer for these questions.
Poster 7 and Pupils Book Unit 7, page 74. Reading. Old Customs in the Modern World.
People live in all parts of the world. Most people live in towns and cities, but other people live hundreds of kilometers from the nearest city. They live on high mountains. They live in hot deserts and in snowy forests. They keep animals for food. They make their clothes and homes. They are different to people who live in large towns and cities because they do not need lots of shops, cars and lorries. They do not use much electricity or water.
Weavers of South America. The Incas lived in Peru in South America. 500 years ago, they were very rich and powerful. They had many large cities, and they were good fighters. They had gold, silver, and jewels. They kept many animals, and they had good food and clothes. Then explorers from Spain came. They fought the Incas and captured their king. After that, the Spanish ruled over the Incas. The Incas spoke the Quechua language. Quechua people are still living in Peru today. They keep sheep and goats in the mountains. They get wool from the animals. They spin the wool and weave it into cloth. They make patterns in the cloth. The patterns are like the old Inca patterns. Women carry their babies or fruit and vegetables in the cloth. Men carry firewood and corn. Each village has special patterns. Children learn the patterns. They weave thin ribbons.
Okay, after listening, did you find the answers? Okay, let's check your answers. Question number 1. When people live far away from a city, how do they get food? The answer is they keep animals. They keep animals. Question number 2. How do they get clothes and houses? They make them. They make them. What were the Incas like 500 years ago? What were the Incas like 500 years ago? Rich and powerful. Rich and powerful. And where did the explorers come from? Where did the explorers come from? Very good. They came from Spain. Where do the Quechua people get wool from? Where do the Quechua people get wool from? The answer is their animals. Let's move to the opposite page. I'd like you now to listen, and before listening, put these questions in your mind. Question number 1. Where do the Sami people live? Where do the Sami people live? Number 2. Which animals do the Sami people keep? Which animals do the Sami people keep? Question number 3. What do the Sami people live in when they travel with the reindeer? What do the Sami people live in when they travel with the reindeers? Question number 4. Which animal pulls the cart in Tibet? Which animal pulls the cart in Tibet? Next question. Do all nomads travel in the desert? Do all nomads travel in the desert? And the last question is, which bird helps the nomads to hunt? Which bird helps the nomads to hunt? Okay, I'd like you now to listen. Try to find the answer. Ready?
Herdsmen of Northern Europe. The Sami people live in Northern Europe. It is very cold in winter, and there is always a lot of snow on the ground. Some Sami people are nomads. That means they travel from one place to another. They keep big herds of reindeer. They live in tents, and when the reindeer need new grass, they pack up their tents and move on.
Farmers of Tibet. The Tibetan people live near the highest mountain in the world. Some Tibetans are nomads. They keep sheep and goats. Tibetan farmers use yaks on their farms. The yaks pull carts and plows. Yaks are strong animals.
Travelers in the desert. These nomadic people live in hot places. Some nomads travel through the desert. Like the Sami people, they keep animals and live in tents. When they move the animals, they can take their tents with them. They hunt with falcons, so their families have more food. Nowadays, not many nomads live in the desert all the time. Many of them live in houses in towns and villages, but they still fly falcons in the desert. Falcons catch other birds. A nomad in Dubai with his falcon. Falcons are beautiful birds with sharp beaks and watchful eyes.
Okay. Question number 1. Where do the Sami people live? Huh? The answer is Northern Europe. Question number 2. Which animals do the Sami people keep? The answer is reindeers. What do the Sami people live in when they travel with their reindeer? The answer is tents. Next question. Which animal pulls the carts and plows in Tibet? The answer is yak. Do all nomads travel in the desert? The answer is no. Many live in villages. The last question. Which bird helps the nomads to hunt? The answer is falcon. Let's move to the next page. Reading comprehension and vocabulary. Complete the sentences. 500 years ago, the Incas were very rich and powerful. Rich and powerful. The Incas spoke the Quechua. Very good language. The Quechua people space the wool and weave it into cloth. The answer is spin. Number 4. They make space in the cloth. Patterns. Number 5. Some Sami people are nomads. Some Sami people are nomads. The Tibetan people live near the highest mountain in the world. Number 7. Some nomadic people travel through the desert. Falcons are beautiful birds with sharp beaks and watchful eyes. Watchful eyes. Have you finished? Let's move quickly to the next part, which is write the words next to the correct definition. Write the words next to the correct definition. Number 1, strong equal to powerful. Number 2, power that travels along wires and makes lights and machines work. This is electricity. Number 3, seeing everything that is happening. Watchful. To follow and catch. This is hunt. Person who travels and looks at new places. This is explorer. Number 6, a small group of houses. This is village. Number 7, to turn or twist round and round. This is spin. To catch and hold onto. This is capture. This is capture. Have you finished? I'd like you now to move to the next question, which is talk about the picture. What can you see? You remember? Yes, the family went to the museum. Yes, and when they entered the museum, they found the treasure hunt. Treasure hunt has 4 questions. In order to get the first prize, they have to answer the 4 questions correctly. Listen and act.
Pupils Book, Unit 7, page 77. Activities 1 and 2. The Treasure Hunt. Part 1. Welcome to the museum. Welcome to the museum.
Thank you.
Come along, children. We're going to have a wonderful afternoon.
There are so many things to see.
I want to see the Egyptian room. They made a lot of things from gold and jewels.
I want to see the Chinese room. The Chinese invented lots of things.
Yes, they were very clever.
I want to go on the space simulator. It's like going into space.
Look, there's a treasure hunt.
And there's a mystery prize. I wonder what the prize is.
You can get the treasure hunt questions here.
Let's do the treasure hunt.
Okay, there are 4 questions. The first question is about the Egyptian room.
Let's go there now.
Let's move to the next page. Our lesson today is about nouns. We have 2 types of nouns, countable and uncountable noun. As for the countable noun, these are the nouns that can be singular or plural. In order to ask about them, we use how, many, and followed by plural noun. In order to ask about uncountable noun, we use how much. As for making yes or no question using is there or are there, is there, we use it to ask about something singular or uncountable. Are there, we use it to ask about something plural. We use much with uncountable noun. We use many with countable noun. Okay, let's read the model. Are there many yaks on the mountain? Here we have yaks is plural noun, so we use are there many. Are there many? Okay. Is there much snow on the mountain? Snow here is uncountable, so we use is there much. Is it clear now? So we use is there much for uncountable nouns, and are there many for plural countable nouns. Okay, let's move to exercise number 1. Ask and answer. Here we have water, river. So we are going to use is there much water in the river? Is there much water in the river? Trees, forest. Trees here is plural, so we are going to say are there many trees in the forest? Are there many trees in the forest? Camels in the desert? Yes. Are there many camels in the desert? And the answer is yes, there are. Fruit here is uncountable, so we are going to use is there much. Is there much fruit in the basket? Yes, there is. Sand, beach. Is there much sand on the beach? Yes, there is. Jewels, crown. Yes, are there many jewels on the crown? No, there aren't. Got it? Okay. Using much and many in a negative sentence. So we use much and many in question, and also we use much and many in negative sentence. Look at the bubbles. There aren't many birds. There aren't many birds. There isn't much juice. There isn't much juice. Okay, what's the opposite of much and many? Yes, lot of or lots of. So there are lots of birds or there are a lot of birds. There is a lot of juice and there is lots of juice. Okay. Who can do the first one? Water. There isn't much water. There isn't much water. Number 2. There are lots of butterflies or there are a lot of butterflies. Number 3. There are lots of stars or there are a lot of stars. Number 4. There isn't much milk. There isn't much milk. Number 5. There is lots of sand. There is a lot of sand. Number 6. There are not many fish. There are not many fish. Have you finished? Let's move to the next. Yes, phonics.
Pupils Book, Unit 7, page 80. Phonics. Look and listen. Ooh. When the reindeer need new grass, the Sami move on. Ooh. When the reindeer need new grass, the Sami move on.
The wind blew. The little bird flew. The black clouds grew, and lightning threw silver flashes too. Then we knew. It's a storm! Quick! Run inside!
I'd like you now to open your workbook on page 65. Exercise number 1. Complete the questions with how much or how many. Let's revise together. What's the difference between how much and how many? How much asks about something very good, uncountable, and how many followed by plural noun and ask about something countable. Number 1. Goats are there on the farm, so we are going to use how many. How many goats are there on the farm? Number 2. Snow. Snow here is uncountable, so we are going to use how much snow is there on the mountains. Number 3. People. People is countable, so we are going to use how many. Tents, the same, how many. Bread is uncountable, so we are going to say how much. Time is uncountable, so we are going to say how much. Question number 2. Complete the sentences with the correct word in practice. There isn't. Very good. Much water in the desert. Number 2. My sister has got lots of friends. Number 3. The children didn't find much firewood. Number 4, there aren't many geese on the lakes. Number 5, Joe could see a lot of animals in the field. Very good. Number 6, there was lots of grass for the reindeer to eat.